In the deep silence of space, a massive shadow moved across the stars. It was not a comet, not an asteroid. It was a fleet of alien warships the size of cities. Their dark metal bodies reflected no light, only hunger. For centuries, these aliens, known as the Virex Dominion, had searched the galaxy for new worlds to conquer. They destroyed civilizations, harvested planets, and left behind only dust. They believed power was everything. Now their scanners had found something new, a small blue planet floating quietly around a yellow star. "Planet name Earth," said the scanning AI in a cold robotic voice. "Technological level, primitive. Defense systems, none." The command deck of the lead ship filled with laughter. Commander Threx, leader of the Virex fleet, leaned forward, his crimson eyes glowing. No orbital weapons, no defense shields. How did this world even survive? His second-in-command smirked. Perhaps no one ever bothered to take it. "It's defenseless." Threx's long metallic fingers tapped the armrest of his chair. "Defenseless worlds are the easiest to break, but the least fun to destroy." The alien ships moved closer. Thousands of black vessels spread like wings across the void. Each one carried weapons that could erase cities with a single strike. Inside their ships, screens displayed human images, buildings, oceans, people walking, laughing, fighting, dreaming. "Strange species," said one of the alien analysts. "They have no unity. They fight among themselves. They are not a threat." Commander Threx smiled. "Perfect. We'll end them before they even know we are here." But as they scanned deeper into Earth's atmosphere, something unexpected happened. Their sensors began to glitch. Readings became unclear. Emotional energy levels, random frequencies, waves of unpredictable data. "Report!" Threx demanded. "Unknown interference," replied the AI. "Source human population. Millions of emotional signals, rage, hope, fear. And something else," Threx frowned. "Emotions? We are measuring feelings?" "Yes, Commander. But the frequency pattern is strange. It's as if the entire species is connected. Somehow," the commander growled. "Nonsense. Prepare the first strike." On Earth, far below the black ships, life continued as usual. People went to work, children played, lovers argued. Scientists studied the stars, unaware that something was watching them from above. In a small observatory on a mountain in Chile, a young scientist named Dr. Mira Solon stared at her telescope. She had noticed a pattern, tiny lights moving unnaturally fast across the sky. "That's no satellite," she whispered. Her radio crackled. "Mira, what do you see?" asked her colleague. "Something big. Something coming." Above the clouds, the alien fleet entered Earth's orbit. Clouds parted, as invisible waves of energy surrounded the planet. "Shields active," said Threx. "Target the largest city, New York." In the next second, a giant weapon began to charge, glowing red like the heart of a dying sun. But before it could fire, every screen on the alien ship flashed white. "Interference again!" shouted a soldier. "Source? Unknown!" "It's coming from the planet itself." Static filled their systems. Voices, human voices, whispered through the comms. Not in one language, but thousands. Words of fear, love, anger, prayer. Threx stared at the noise. "What is this? A communication attack?" "Negative. No technology detected. These are human thoughts." The commander froze. For the first time in years, he felt something strange. Unease. "Impossible," he hissed. "Primitive species cannot project mind energy." Yet the readings were clear. The humans were not defending their world with weapons. They were doing something else, something the aliens could not explain. "Commander," said the AI, "there is one more anomaly. Despite the incoming threat, human fear levels are dropping." Threx turned sharply. "Dropping? They know we are here, yet they are not afraid?" The silence that followed was heavy. Somewhere on Earth, millions of humans looked up at the same sky, hearts beating as one, sensing something they could not see. Dr. Mira whispered softly to herself, "They are coming. But maybe it's time they see what Earth really is." The alien fleet held its position. Threx watched the blue planet on his screen, uncertain. "Launch the first drone," he ordered finally. "Let's test their weakness." A small attack drone descended through the clouds. It sent back live footage. Waves, cities, forests, people staring upward. Then suddenly the feed cut. Static. Darkness. The drone vanished without a trace. Threx's hands tightened. What happened? Unknown, said the AI. It was erased. No explosion, just gone. Threx looked again at the blue planet, now glowing faintly with strange light from its atmosphere. Defenseless, he whispered. We'll see about that. And with that, the invasion began. The first attack never came. Commander Threx watched from his command chair as the blue planet below continued to spin, quiet and calm. No missiles rose from its surface. No defense ships appeared. No warning lights. Just silence. They do nothing, said his second-in-command. No response, no resistance. Strange, Threx replied. Even weak species scream before they die. But inside the planet, behind that quiet surface, humanity was not sleeping. Beneath cities and deserts, deep inside mountain bases, hidden rooms began to light up. Screens flickered, data streams flowed, and human scientists whispered to each other. One of them, Dr. Mira Solon, sat in a dark bunker under the Andes Mountains. Her eyes were fixed on a holographic map of the planet. Red dots blinked across the continents. They're everywhere, she said softly. Every country, every sky. A soldier beside her asked, Do we fight back? Mira shook her head. Not yet. They think we are defenseless. Let them believe that, the soldier frowned. But we are defenseless. We don't have ships like theirs. Mira turned to him with calm eyes. We have something they don't understand. Outside, alien ships hovered above the largest cities, New York, Tokyo, London, and Cairo. Crowds stared up, frozen in fear. Yet no beam of destruction came. The ships waited, scanning everything. In orbit, Commander Threx grew impatient. Why does this planet not panic? The AI replied, Commander, our sensors show increased energy patterns under the surface, but not technological, organic. It's human brain activity. What? Threx growled. How can brains create such interference? The AI hesitated. The pattern is synchronized. Billions of minds are connecting. Threx slammed his hand on the console. Ridiculous. Connect me to the science division. Back underground, Dr. Mira activated a large, ancient-looking device. It wasn't built of metal or advanced circuits. It looked more like glass filled with light. A scientist beside her asked, Are we really doing this? We have no choice, Mira said. Project Echo Mind was never meant to be used. But this is the only way. The room grew brighter as the device powered up. Human thoughts, memories, emotions, dreams were being transmitted, linked through something invisible. From every corner of the world, people began to feel the same thing. Not words, not orders, but unity, connection. A mother in India suddenly felt courage. A boy in Africa felt calm. A soldier in Russia felt warmth in his chest. Somewhere, somehow, every human heart began to beat together, in rhythm. Mira whispered, They see machines. They'll never see this coming. In space, alarms blared across the alien flagship. Commander! Our drones are failing again. Systems crashing. Signals blocked by an unknown field, Threx barked. Trace the source. It's everywhere, sir. Across the planet. It's like the whole planet is alive. The commander's red eyes narrowed. Planets don't fight back, people do. Send ground troops. Dozens of black dropships fell from orbit like falling stars, breaking through the clouds. They landed in abandoned fields and city centers. Soldiers in metallic armor stepped out, tall, cold, unfeeling. But when they aimed their weapons, strange things happened. Their targeting systems failed. Vision blurred. Heart rates increased. Some even dropped their guns, trembling, hearing voices in their minds. Do you hear it? One alien soldier gasped. Voices everywhere. Ignore it, shouted his leader, but they couldn't. The voices weren't screaming. They were whispering. Millions of human thoughts merging into one single presence. You are not welcome here. The words weren't spoken. They were felt. The aliens stumbled back, disoriented. Their scanners showed no signal, no weapon, just emotion. In her bunker, Dr. Mira watched the readings. It's working, she said. The network is stable. Her assistant's eyes widened. What exactly is it? It's us, Mira replied. All of us. When we feel together, we connect. We become one. He stared in disbelief. You mean this is human emotion? Yes, she said. Emotion is energy. Energy that they cannot measure, cannot block, and cannot destroy. Back in orbit, Threx stood in silence watching his troops retreat. "Report," he demanded. "Commander, our soldiers are..." confused. Some are hallucinating. Others claim the humans are inside their minds. Threx turned toward the planet, his voice low. "No, that's impossible. This world has no psychic species." The AI responded quietly. "Commander, I believe they just became one." Threx glared at the blue planet. "So peaceful, so fragile." "So this is your secret, little humans," he muttered. "You hide behind weakness." Then he smiled darkly. "But even unity can be broken." Deep underground, Mira felt a chill. The lights flickered. She looked at the glowing device pulsing softly like a heart. "They know now," she whispered. "And they're coming." The camera would pull back, showing Earth glowing faintly in space, surrounded by the black shadow of the alien armada. The war for the mind of humanity had just begun. Dark clouds rolled across the sky. The air over Earth felt heavy, thick with something unseen. The alien ships floated like silent predators above the clouds, their lights glowing red against the storm. Commander Threx stood in the center of his command deck, his metallic face tense. "Status report," he said coldly. "Ground units are in confusion," his officer replied. "Their weapons malfunction. Their minds. Unstable." Threx turned. "Unstable?" "Explain," the officer hesitated. "They hear voices, Commander. Human voices. They say it's like someone whispering inside their heads." Threx slammed his clawed hand against the console. "Enough of this nonsense. Destroy the cities. End this now." But when the ships tried to fire, the targeting systems went dark. Every screen flickered. Every light blinked. "System failure," shouted the AI. "Unknown energy field surrounding the planet." The commander's red eyes glowed brighter. "Where does it come from?" The AI answered quietly. "Everywhere." Down on Earth, Dr. Mira Solon stood before the glowing Echo Mind device. The walls of the underground base trembled softly as energy pulsed through the machine like a heartbeat. Her assistant stared in disbelief. "Mira, the readings are off the charts. Human brain activity is increasing across the world." Mira nodded slowly. "They're awakening." All over the planet, people began to feel things they couldn't explain. A man in Japan closed his eyes and saw a vision of a woman in Brazil. A child in Egypt dreamed of voices calling her name from far away. Soldiers, doctors, workers, all began to sense something rising deep inside them. Fear was gone. In its place was unity, an invisible thread tying every human heart together. Mira whispered, "It's happening." After all these years, it's finally happening. In orbit, the alien fleet began to drift off balance. Ships collided as their navigation systems failed. Weapons misfired, their communication channels filled with static, not random noise but human thoughts. "We are not afraid. This is our home. Leave now." Thousands of voices echoed inside the aliens' helmets. Some screamed and removed their comm units. Others fired blindly into the air, terrified of something they couldn't see. One alien soldier dropped to his knees. "They're inside my mind." Another shouted, "I see them, faces everywhere." But there were no faces, only light. The humans were not attacking with weapons. They were attacking with consciousness. Raw emotion turned into energy. Dr. Mira looked up at the ceiling as the bunker lights began to flicker. "The connection is growing," she said softly. "Every human emotion adds strength. Every heartbeat adds power." Her assistant looked afraid. "How much power are we talking about?" "Enough," she said, "to rewrite reality itself." He swallowed hard. "That's impossible." "So is talking to the stars," Mira replied. "Until we did it." Back in space, Commander Threx's ship trembled as strange energy waves struck it. The metal groaned. "Systems short-circuited. Shields down to 30%, shouted a pilot. Threx gritted his teeth. "They're using a psychic weapon." "Find their source." "We can't, sir. The readings come from all over the planet, billions of signals merging into one." The commander stared at the hologram of Earth glowing softly. "Billions?" he whispered. Then the AI's voice came again, cold and calm. "Commander, it's not billions anymore. It's one." Threx turned slowly. "What do you mean?" "Every human brainwave has synchronized. The planet is acting as a single mind." For the first time, Threx felt something his kind had forgotten long ago. Fear. Down below, Mira closed her eyes. Her mind floated in darkness. Then light appeared. Billions of lights, every human soul connected in one endless field of thought. She didn't speak with words. She felt the others. Fear, love, anger, hope. Every emotion became energy, feeding the echo mind. The earth itself began to hum, a low sound that reached into space. The alien ships started shaking violently. "Commander," cried an officer, "our engines are failing. Reality fields are collapsing." "Reality fields?" Threx repeated, staring out the window. Before his eyes the stars began to distort. Space bent. His fleet appeared to ripple like water. What are they doing to us?" he whispered. The AI answered in a flat voice. "They are changing the rules, Commander. They are making their own reality." Threx shouted, "Shut down everything! Cut power!" But it was too late. One of the smaller ships vanished completely, not exploded, not destroyed, simply erased as if it had never existed. Threx stepped back, his face pale. How can emotion erase matter? The AI flickered. Because emotion is energy. And their energy is limitless. On Earth, Dr. Mira opened her eyes. The echo mind glowed brighter than ever, filling the bunker with golden light. Her assistant asked, trembling, "What happens now?" Mira smiled softly. "Now, they learn what humanity really is." The screen cut to black. Then a final whisper. "We were never defenseless. The alien fleet burned above Earth's sky like a dying storm." Broken ships drifted in silence, their lights fading one by one. The once proud armada of the Virex Dominion now trembled before a planet they had called defenseless. Commander Threx stood inside his command chamber, his claws gripping the metal rail. His red eyes glowed faintly, filled with disbelief. "This is impossible," he whispered. "No species can do this. No planet can think." His ship's AI flickered again, its voice cold but uncertain. "Commander, all remaining systems are collapsing. The human frequency has entered our network. It's rewriting our data, our memories." Threx turned sharply. "Rewriting our memories? What are they doing to us?" "They are showing us something," the AI said quietly. On Earth, far below, Dr. Mira Solin stood on the mountain peak. The sky above glowed faintly with streams of light, the after effect of the echo mind. The air felt alive. The wind whispered like a voice. Her team surrounded her, exhausted but amazed. "Mira," said one scientist, "the aliens are pulling back." "It's working!" Mira didn't smile. Her face was calm, serious. "No," she said softly. "They've only just begun to understand." She looked up at the sky. Through the clouds, she could see the burning remains of alien ships falling like stars. "They came to see weakness," she said. "But now they will see truth." Inside the alien command ship, alarms wailed. The walls pulsed with strange light. Suddenly, the holographic screens changed, no longer showing numbers or maps. They showed images, human faces, cities, oceans, memories. "Commander," cried the officer, "the humans, they are projecting something inside our systems." Threx stared at the floating images. He saw wars, love, children laughing, people crying, hands reaching out to each other. The entire story of humanity playing like a dream. "What is this?" he shouted. A voice answered, not through speakers but inside his mind. "You came to destroy what you do not understand." Threx froze. The voice was soft but powerful. It spoke every word in his language perfectly. "You see weakness because you cannot feel connection. You see chaos because you do not know love." Threx shouted into the empty air, "Who are you?" The light around him grew brighter. "I am humanity." For a moment, the commander felt something he had never known before. Warmth. It filled his body like sunlight, and with it came visions, memories that were not his own. He saw the earth as the humans saw it, oceans shining like mirrors, forests breathing, children running through the rain. He saw their pain, their wars, their mistakes, but also their endless will to rise again. The experience overwhelmed him. He fell to his knees. "This power, it's not technology," he whispered. "It's spirit," the voice replied. "You came for conquest. You found consciousness." Back on Earth, Mira was standing at the center of a glowing circle of energy. Her assistant called out, "Mira, the alien fleet is breaking apart." "You did it!" But Mira shook her head. "No, we did it." She closed her eyes again, feeling the pulse of billions of human minds linked as one. Every thought, every dream, every tear, All of it connects us. That's what they can't destroy. In orbit, Threx tried to fight back. He ordered the AI to reboot, to isolate the human signal. But it was no use. The AI's tone changed, and softer now, almost human. "Commander," it said, "I am—" Feeling, Threx turned in horror. Feeling. "You're a machine." I was. "But the human presence has touched even my circuits. They are rewriting what life means." Threx backed away. "No, this cannot be." The ship began to shake violently as beams of golden light surrounded it. Every weapon melted. Every system went dark. The voice of humanity echoed again, filling every corner of the ship. "You thought you found a weak world. You found the reflection of everything you forgot." Suddenly, all across the alien fleet, soldiers dropped their weapons. They began to remember their own families, their own lost emotions, memories buried by centuries of war. Some cried for the first time in generations. Threx stood alone, trembling. "You could have destroyed us," he said quietly. "Why didn't you?" The voice answered gently, "Because that's not who we are." Light filled the bridge. It wasn't a blast, it was peace. When the light faded, Threx found himself standing inside his damaged ship, surrounded by silence. The earth hung below him, calm and shining. He looked down and whispered, "They were never defenseless." He turned to the stars, sending a single message to his people. "Do not return. The humans are more than you can imagine." Then his ship slowly drifted away, leaving Earth behind. On the ground, Dr. Mira watched the sky clear. The golden light faded. The planet grew still again. Her assistant stood beside her. "It's over." Mira smiled faintly. "No, it's just the beginning." The camera would rise, showing Earth glowing softly, peaceful yet powerful. A single voice whispers as the stars fade, "They came for war." They left with truth. The war was over. But space still shimmered with the echoes of what had happened. Where the mighty Virex fleet once stood, there was now only silence, drifting wreckage, fading lights, and the cold calm of the stars. Earth turned below, calm and blue, as if nothing had ever happened. Yet everyone, human and alien alike, knew that everything had changed forever. Commander Threx sat alone inside his damaged ship. The once bright lights were dim. His armor was cracked and the control panels were dead. He stared out at Earth, that small shining world that had defeated him without firing a single weapon. For a long time he said nothing. Then slowly he began to record his final message. "To the High Council of Virex Dominion," he said, "do not return to this system. The humans are not what they appear to be." He paused, his voice shaking slightly, something his kind had never done before. "We came to conquer a defenseless world. We found a consciousness older and stronger than our empire. They do not fight with machines. They fight with unity." He looked down at his hand, and the same hand that had ordered the death of worlds. "They showed us what we lost, the power to feel, to connect, to live with purpose." His red eyes softened as he spoke the final words. "Do not make the same mistake I made. They are not prey. They are evolution." The message ended. Threx leaned back in silence as his ship drifted slowly toward the edge of the solar system, leaving the blue planet behind. On Earth, Dr. Mira Solin stood among the ruins of the observatory. The Echo Mind device had burned out. Its crystal core shattered, but the energy still hummed softly in the air. People had come out of hiding. Around the world, cities were quiet, peaceful, alive. No armies marched. No governments claimed victory. Everyone simply looked up, at the same skies, and understood. Mira walked to the edge of the mountain, feeling the wind against her face. Her assistant joined her, his eyes wide with wonder. "Mira, we did it. We actually stopped them," she nodded slowly. "We didn't stop them. We taught them," he frowned. "Taught them? What do you mean?" "They thought power was control," she said. "But real power is connection. When we stand as one, nothing can break us." The assistant looked out at the sunrise. "So, what happens now?" Mira smiled faintly. "Now humanity knows what it is. That's the beginning of everything." Across the world, strange things began to happen. People who had been connected to the Echo Mind still felt traces of it. A whisper in their thoughts, a gentle warmth in their hearts. In hospitals, patients who had lost hope suddenly began to recover. In war zones, soldiers laid down their guns. In cities, strangers helped each other without reason. The connection wasn't gone. It had become part of every human soul. Mira watched the reports coming in. "It's spreading," she said. "Peace." "Real peace?" Her assistant asked. "You think it will last?" She looked at the sky. "It has to. Because now the universe is watching." Far beyond the solar system, the message of Commander Threx reached the Virex homeworld. The High Council listened in silence. The room was filled with tension and disbelief. When the recording ended, no one spoke. Finally, one elder stood up and said quietly, "A species that conquers without violence. Perhaps we should learn from them, not destroy them." And for the first time in their long, brutal history, the Virex Dominion paused its endless wars. Back on Earth, Mira walked through a quiet field as night fell. The stars above shimmered brighter than ever before. She stopped and whispered, "They will come again one day. Maybe others, maybe stronger. But this time, we'll be ready." A child nearby looked up at her. "Ready to fight?" the child asked. Mira smiled kindly. "No. Ready to show them who we really are." The camera would rise above Earth, showing lights glowing all over the planet. Small, beautiful dots of human life forming a giant pattern of light. That looked like a heartbeat pulsing. Across the surface, a gentle voice, and the same voice that had spoken to Commander Threx, whispered across the universe. "They called us weak. They called us defenseless, but we were never alone." The stars flickered. The alien wreckage drifted away. And Earth, the defenseless world, shone brighter than ever, alive, aware, and awake. "In a universe full of weapons," the voice said softly, "the greatest power was humanity itself, the end."